In this verse, this last one, God brought me back there, and he was emphasizing, and I wrote down in my notes, our soul is exceedingly filled with the scorning of those that are at ease. The Lord had me sit here and focus on this part of the verse. And so I did, and the Lord was revealing this to me. I saw a vision of this guy, and this guy is, I really don't like the guy. I don't know, many of you guys don't either. And I've never even decided to hear from the Lord what he wanted me to know about this man. But this is who I saw. I see Klaus Schwab. If you guys don't know who Klaus Schwab is he the leader of the Economic Forum, I believe? Um, the Economic Forum, what? I can't tell what you're saying. He's a what? Okay. Oh, he's the money man behind it. Thank you. And so he funds it, and he's one of the elites in the background, but only comes down to speak. But you never see his hands move, but his hands are always moving in something with all the money he has. So that guy, if you guys don't know what he's a tall, bald head guy, looks kind of weird. Um, but just look him up. He has a lot of influence, and he's talked about the Great Reset and the Agenda 2030, how you're going to be happy to have nothing and you won't own anything and you're going to have a great life, supposedly. That's that guy, Klaus Schwab. So as I was focusing on this verse, I literally saw this man's face. I said, I see Klaus Schwab. He's looking at me. I said, he's looking at me in a business suit. I said, he looks at me with nothing to say. But as he looks at me, I can tell his heart wants to kill me. And I understand that he wants to kill me and he wants to allow death to be my name. It was like I was looking at this man, he was looking right at me, and he has so much evil in his heart and his being. And he didn't want me to know anything, but I understood his heart motive. He wanted me death. He wanted me dead, and he wanted the actual name of death as my name. Like he wanted me to be fully eradicated. He wanted me to be non-existent. So I kept watching. I said, I understand he cares less about me and that he would toss me aside to the wind without a second thought. It was like as I was watching him and God was showing me his heart intentions and even his thoughts, I saw him in a vision. If he were to have hold of me, he would have tossed me to the wind and not even looked at me. That's how much he cares for people. I'm symbolizing people here, not like he has to care about me that personally, but just people, right? Who he deems as normal society. He would have tossed me without a second thought. I said. I said he has only destruction in his mind. I said he is very evil. I understood all he wants to do is decompose humans. And this decomposure isn't just a food thing. This is decomposing their life, their freedom, their thoughts, everything God has given them. Everything God has given them. Yeah, thanks, Wings Forever. She says Klaus Schwab, Klaus Martin Schwab is a German engineer, economist, and founder of the World Economic Forum. There you go. Thank you. So I was seeing that guy. I understood with this motive in his mind, God was revealing to me. He has killed many with his hands. God was having me understand that his speech has fooled millions, that the things he said was deceiving millions of people. I said, as I'm watching, and I hear his voice in this vision over airways. It was like his voice, the vision shifted to where his voice was coming out of airways. It was coming through phones. It was coming out of radios. Any device that could play his voice throughout the airways, his voice was coming out of it. Of course, media, television, all that, right? So I hear his voice over the airways, and There is some kind of evil witchcraft smoke coming out of the phones, coming out of the radio, coming out of the media, out of the airways, wherever his voice is, there's this purple black smoke. It's like a puff. It's not like a continuous flow. It's just like a puff of smoke comes out. It was weird. And I understood this was deception. This was the foolery he was doing to the people. He was deceiving people by a soothing voice, but his actions and his intent is totally to their demise. And he was spinning people into this spell. He was soothsaying. He was speaking very soothingly, but in his words and in his intentions was complete diabolical evil, diabolical ways, diabolical plans, schemes, and devices. But his voice was soothing people, soothing people. It was weird. It was like as I was hearing him, or even back in the vision now, as I'm hearing him now, God can sometimes do that with me. I can go back into the visions every now and then. As I'm hearing him now, it's like his voice is that same raspy, weird voice, but it's somehow soothing people, but yet to their demise. It's soothing people to their demise. And it's because people don't have discernment and they're not listening attentively to what he's saying. They're looking at his authority, they're looking at his title, they're looking at his influence. And because of that, where his position is allowing people's discernment to be reduced. And because people's discernments are being reduced, the deception increases. And the witchcraft, this smoke, is effective. But it's not effective to people who have discernment. It's not effective to the people of God. It's not effective to people who have Christ. It's not effective to people who have the truth in them to discern what he's saying. Those who don't have the truth in them, it's not good. It's not good. But there's more I saw, okay? There was more, okay? So, like I said, I saw his voice coming through these devices. I see God reveal to me someone covering their ears to his voice. I saw someone sitting next to the radio and they were like this, not listening. And but God was revealing to me these are those with discernment. They will never take his voice in. These are those with discernment. They will never take his voice in. You understand? But even so, there will be many who will. There will be many who will. And I'm about to get into those who do. And so God was revealing to me is that I see I see that woman covering his ears. It was one person, but she was symbolizing people with discernment. I then said, nothing but lies comes out of this man's mouth. I understood as he spoke, it was complete from the pit of hell. It was like hell was coming out of his mouth. And it's so gross and raw, but that's the source of what he was speaking. It was coming out of his mouth. It was filth and spewing. Totally ungodly, totally negative. I said, as I watched and understood this, I know the deep darkness of his heart. Tied that as I'm looking at this man, the vision shifted back to Klaus Schwab after seeing the radio visions, the his airways, the airway vision about that. It shifts back to Klaus Schwab. And now I'm looking at him and I'm understanding that his heart, the recesses of his heart is very dark. And in his heart, there's like the shadowy wall, and behind the wall, there's reptilians back there. But they're in a complete deep darkness. They're not very known. There's reptilians back there in the deep shadows of the recesses of his heart. And God was revealing to me, he's listening to them. His influence is by them. He's operating by their influence. He's drawing from them and releasing it. God was showing me he's a henchman, a spokesman for the reptilians. And it was the evil and darkness I felt is something that I don't wish on nobody. That evil and darkness, you don't want to be around that. You don't want to be anywhere near that. Never want to be anywhere near that. And so that's what I saw. Okay. But then there's more. I said, I saw different nationalities of people around the world. And God was revealing to me different nationalities of people of the world, minorities of other ethnic groups overseas, east of America, who hear this man, not knowing better, are bewitched by the witchcraft. I saw minorities of different nationalities who weren't knowledgeable, who weren't having the discernment, who didn't have the truth. They were being duped. The witchcraft was actually working on them. And it was because of their ignorance. They were like God was showing me, the minority. They were minority people. They were of a different nationality, multiple different nationalities. But once again, they didn't have the knowledge and truth such as we do with technology and media. We can find out truth within 5-10 minutes. You have people who are still waiting on clean water in a day. So it's very night and day in certain other parts of the world. And God was showing me people are being deceived into this witchcraft because they don't have the truth to guide them or not listen. They're believing it. They're believing it. So God was showing me that. I said, then the scene then shifts. The scene shifts to America. And so I'm now witnessing families in America moved by fear of his words. So you had people, this is the thing, guys, you got to get this in you. People in America who knew the truth, who had people of truth in their vicinity, were being moved by this man is because of the fear that was moving them. The fear of his words, the fear of what was being proclaimed was moving people in America in the same direction of that witchcraft. See, you don't have to be consumed by witchcraft to follow it. You just have to have fear. You understand? Fear in itself invites a whole bunch of demonic. It's just an open door for a party. And I saw where people were moving by fear in America based on what this man was saying. And they were being shifted into his words. They were being shifted into his witchcraft. They were being shifted into the darkness that he was speaking from reptilians. It was terrible. It was terrible. They were caught under the spell. When I saw this in America, I instantly felt and heard chaos. I felt chaos and I heard chaos. It was commotion, it was screams, it was so much at once. And then the Lord spoke to me. So take this word to the Lord. This is what he said. There is coming chaos to the nations. You have listened to the evil men of this world. He said, they slaughter children, cause senseless wars, and damage the family unit that I had planned to be a undenying revelation of my plan for man for my kingdom. I have heard what man decides. They want peace, easiness, and tranquility. Man is wanting the life they live in our space to be as they imagined it to be. When God said our space, he was talking about his realm. God was showing me, I'm talking about my realm. My realm has easiness. My realm has tranquility. My realm has peace. Man wants that, but doesn't want God. So God continued to say, their actions repeat the world's ways, and my ways are cast out. I have seen my people crying out to me in reproach from these evil leaders of this world. I have made my hand against them. They plan wicked schemes. They devise satanic agendas for their master to gain, believing his lies of a spectacular future, which he does not have in mind for them. talking about Satan giving off to these world leaders. He doesn't care about them. They're not going to get what they have been lied about. The Lord continued to say, I have planned a opposite end for them. My judgment reigns true. I have made their portion to have in the proper place for them to receive hell, the pit. God has that in store for them. He said, I have seen their works of iniquity. I have heard their plans to overcome my people. This shall not come to pass. I have made sure they shall fall, with their plans tied up to their own hands, never to be released to the people. They shall eat their portion of what they decided for people to eat, and overflow in that emptiness. I will make sure these are left with nothing. I have made shifts in the land. The rumblings have already started. The land will give and provide more than what people expect. I will send provision in ways the eyes has not seen. Miracles are coming. Miracles have been taking place. I have made the times to come a great place of testimony. Supernatural manifestations will manifest. Many will see a grand shift. The world will be moved into a glorification of my glory. I will make my presence known in the world. I will have soldiers prepared in these coming days to move mountains when they speak. Shatter foundations that have denied me to present true reality. I will move powerfully in my army. Wait and see the miracles I will do. Oh, this time in my plan shall be like none other. Who has seen such a thing? My heart beats for my people, and I have seen the way my heart beats will make to those accepting it. He says, angels of God are manifesting more and more to those around the world. These things will continue in the days ahead. He then said, I have sent them to accompany you in your journey, to not let one dash your foot against a stone. I will make sure in these coming days, collaboration with them will take place more and more. Glory to glory is my way, and many will find this path in the days to come. He says, shout joy, my children. Tough times come, yet I am in them. He says, shout joy, my believers of my heart. I have seen the trials and encountered the pain and duration of the season you have been in. I have carried you to new heights in faith. I have molded you to new identities. A identity awaits many of my people to walk in. This final army of this world shall be born and overcome all evil will be their duty. The Lord says, ride, my warriors, ride. I have given you the truth to gallop on. Stand firm and continue to look forward, never behind. And that was the message. That was the word that the Lord gave me.